So this is a website called Chess Results, and here you can find tournaments from all over the world. And I'm going to click Iceland here, which is ISL, to find the latest tournaments in Iceland, and there you will find Stofan Blitz V. So this is the 5th installment of a Blitz tournament in a coffee house called Stofan in Iceland. A tournament in which I was the number 1 seed. My FIDE Blitz rating is 2416, so I'm actually higher rated than Grandmaster Bragi Þorfinnsson in Blitz, but he is of course a very strong Blitz player as well. His rating sort of just hasn't caught up, hasn't played enough Blitz rated. Then we have young Vignir Vatnar Stefansson, also a very strong Blitz player, has reached 2700 here on chess.com. Another FIDE master, Sigurbjörn Björnsson, very strong. He has won the Reykjavik City Championship on many occasions with strong scores. And then we have another FIDE master, Robert Lagerman, 2200 here, Örleo, strong player. Another 2200, then we have another champion of Reykjavik, Stefán Bergsson, Jóhanna Björk from the Icelandic women's national team, Páll Snædal Andrason, who, well, he has beaten Ali Reza Firouzja in Hyperbullet. Pretty impressive. Arnar Heiðarsson, who just came from the European Chess Championship. We have a WIM, so many strong players, and in total we had 43 players. Impressive stuff. Even some foreigners showed up. We had a guy from the States, William Brenn. He found out about the tournament and showed up. Somebody asked me about it on Reddit, and I gave him the link, but I'm not sure if it was William. I think it was somebody else. So on to the tournament. So yeah, I was the number 1 seed. First round. So in this tournament and in most tournaments, the Swiss system is usually used. So that means that the tournament is divided in 2 parts, and the number 1 player in part 1 will play against the number 1 player in part 2. So I play here on board 1 against the 22nd seed. The 23rd seed is playing against number 2, 24th seed playing against number 3, so on and so forth. And this game, I actually couldn't recall. I tried to enter all my games yesterday. I sort of remember what happened, but because it was the furthest away, it was the first round, I couldn't remember it. And also when you play many games in the same opening, they tend to maybe mix up. So I couldn't really string this one together. And actually my second round game I couldn't completely string together, but I did manage to remember the sort of critical position, or when things start to happen. And I'm gonna just get that position. I think it's sufficient to do like this. And let's go back to chess.com. So this was my second round game. I had the black pieces. My opponent was rated 1865. And here I played the French defense, the Wiener variation, one of my favorite lines. And I did put this knight here on c4, one of the sort of features and main ideas of this line. You get a very nice knight on c4, which acts sort of like a gatekeeper, keeps the queen side in check, and then later in the game you can often use it with good effect. So what happened here is that I had just played h6, and now I took on g5. And my opponent has a problem, because if he takes with the queen, I will take this, then I will take on h1, and his bishop will hang by my strong knight. So what happened was that he took with a pawn instead. When I gave up the queen for 2 rooks. But unfortunately for my opponent, this guy is already hanging. And now that I look at it, actually my pawn was on a5. He couldn't put the bishop on b4, so he had to put it on c1, which he did when I played rook to h8. And my opponent is in big trouble. I'm threatening rook here. And the king actually doesn't have squares. I'm covering this, and if he goes to d3, I have rook d1. So he tried bishop e3 with the idea to play bishop f2. But then I played what I thought was a cunning move, rook h4. Only 1 square for the queen, and now I took the bishop. And if he takes back, as happened in the game, I have f4. Okay, so this was the second round, and still rather easy in terms of rating, but I mean, the games aren't easy. So in the third round, so I'm not going to look at it. I played this guy, Stofan Blitz V. Very good friend of mine. So this was the third round, and he's the former champion of Reykjavik. He won the Reykjavik City Championship, I think 2 years ago now, rather than 3. And yeah, it was a very good performance by him, coming ahead of several IMs. One of the more surprising tournament results recently, and his rating had gone below 2000, the classical rating, but after the tournament and a string of good results, he got back went close to 2200, so he had a very good run, took chess seriously again after, some goofing around, to be honest, but he has some talent, some definite talent. So I'm gonna load that game, and let's actually, okay, let's get that game. I'm a little bit worried that the final position shows up. Copy game. I could do, no, okay. So we copy the game. Oh, thanks for the follow, Arik KX, and hello, Cardinal. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, I'm sorry. As time goes by, 64, and some comments, but Cardinal GA4, Cardinal or Cardinal, I don't know, but you know, these usernames, they can be tough because you don't know where to cut it off. Mr. Kara, okay, we'll go for Mr. Kara. Thank you, Mr. Kara. Okay, close your eyes while I boom go back. Okay, so I had the white pieces, and this is the third round against Stofan Blitz V. I opened with c4, and we had the English opening. Now the next order of moves, I do not, maybe I don't recall them correctly, but it doesn't really matter. What happened basically more or less is I remember we got this position. The move order isn't really important. I played b4, took h6, b5. We played these standard moves. Bishop b2, and he played king h8, sort of anticipating me going queen b3 at some stage. I played rook a1, takes, bishop e6. I went queen a7, he played b6. So black wants to attack on the king side, and meanwhile he's arguing that he can keep this on the lock and key. And obviously white is claiming that he can attack c7 or penetrate on a8 and get a good ending with some space advantage and weaknesses to attack. So here my opponent played e4, a move looks tempting, I'm not sure about it. I haven't checked with the computer. I'm actually not going to, I don't think. But here I played knight d4, okay, hitting his bishop. And he went back to c8. I actually thought he should go to f7, but then again he might run into trouble with the pawn on c7. Although he always has knight e8, I think. I thought he should go to f7, because then he keeps an eye on the c4 pawn. And after this, I was thinking about knight takes e4, but I did not go for that. I played e3 first. I tried to calculate, but the time control was 3-2. So it's important in the 3-2 time control to sort of try to keep a time edge, not to get too far down the clock. And I started to calculate, and then I just said, okay, I'll play e3 and, you know, just protect stuff. I was a little bit worried if I take here about this pin. So I was trying to calculate that. Thanks for the follow, WGM Brittany Z. Brittany Zamora. The Z came on top there. WGM Brittany Zamora. Double GM is a very strong title, so if you're a double GM, very well done indeed. So knight f5 probably, and he gets the bishop pair. I mean, he's down a pawn. I thought maybe even... What was wrong with this? Maybe there's nothing wrong with this. Yeah, maybe I could have just taken on e4. I'm not sure why I didn't. Probably I was worried about the bishop pair if this, but then again, maybe I can even take on f5. So I don't know. A little bit too cautious, and I played e3 here. But I thought, okay, e3, I'll protect the knight, and now I'm threatening to take this. After bishop f5, which he did play, I took on f5. And I thought, I have a very nice square for my knight here. And this pawn my bishop can attack maybe later. Otherwise my bishop is actually not so great. But okay, I played knight e2, getting the knight to this nice square. First we trade off the bishops. Knight f4, of course threatening this. And he played the rather extravagant king f6, covering e6. I went for the attack on c7. He covered it. And here I played a little bit too quickly, because I do have a tactic in this position, and we'll come back to it. Maybe somebody has already spotted it, but it was a tactic that entered the game. But I did notice, like after bishop h3, I thought I had some queen takes e4s, but right now I don't, because he covers the queen, so I need to get the queen away. But he's also attacking here, so I thought, okay, I'll just protect it. He gives me a check, king h1, attack my bishop, and bishop e2. Now knight b3, and he wants to get the knight back to c5. And if he does, he has a good position. If I have to play like rook a3, rook a3 and queen a7, I think he should be okay here. But I do have the tactic that I missed earlier, and that is to play queen takes b6, using the pin here. I had this tactic earlier in the game, but I missed it. But on the second chance, I found it. And from there, I started to attack his weak king, queen a1. I thought it was a nice move. King goes back, bishop h5, and after the queen entered on f6, he resigned. So this was the third round. A nice win for me. Let's go to the third round, round 3. Still on the first port, and yeah, a nice win against Stefan Bergson. And Vignir also made 3 points, Sigurbjörn made 3 points, and Örnleo. And notably, Bragi, he had to concede a draw in the first round, which would prove to be very costly for him in the final standings. But we'll come to that later. So now to round 4, and I am playing against FIDE-master Sigurbjörn Björnsson. I have the black pieces. I'm gonna find that game. It's right here. So I've played a good friend as well. I once went to a tournament in Poland. I'm not gonna play this. Time control. Yeah, once went with him to the Night of Memorial in Poland, and we shared an Airbnb. So very good friends. We've gone on many trips together. I had the black pieces, and we also played countless games over the years. And if he has the white pieces, it's just he will always go e4. It's almost, I think, 99 point something. Okay, over 95% of our games he has gone e4, and in probably 90% I have gone e6, and we play the French. I've rarely done something else, just because I've gotten bored of always playing the same line, playing the same game. So sometimes I've played g6, even knight c6, stuff like that. But usually we play the French, and he always plays knight c3, and I play the Vinegar variation, and he plays e5. Hey, someday, what's up, man? What's up? I'm going over Blitz tournament I played yesterday over the board. We're in round 4, strong tournament. I was the number 1 seed, but I did have a GM and 3 other FIDE Masters. 43 players in total. I'm on 3 out of 3. I'm playing against the FIDE Master in this round, and we did play this exact same variation, Queen d7, in the Icelandic Blitz Championship. I think I won that. Yeah, I won that game in this variation. I came second in that tournament, the Icelandic Blitz Championship. I've done that twice. My best result by far in chess. Very strong tournaments with tons of GMs. So I'm very proud of those results. But okay, yes, I remember my Blitz games most of the time. I forgot. Fishrat I was in Slovakia, man, for European Youth Championship, 11 days. I just got back home this week. I was in Bratislava and then Vienna for 1 day. So yeah, okay, we played this line before, so he, it didn't come as a surprise. He played a3. Okay, let's get back to the game. a3. I took, and I played b6. This is the main idea of this line, is to trade off this light square bishop. No, it was for just European Youth Championship. I was as a coach. It was not for the province, but the province will play on Sunday, trying to qualify for the playoffs once again. And the queen on d7 is to protect the pawn on g7. As you'll see, I always get this nose itch. I don't know what it is. After queen g4, I play f5. And the idea is to cover the weak pawn on g7 on Sunday. Yeah, over the weekend. On Sunday, someday. So after f5, he plays queen g3, which is the main move. Some people play queen h5, but this is what most people play. Bishop a6, trading off the bishops. One of the ideas of this line. Knight h3, knight back to b8. Extravagant maneuver. Black wants to castle here. Play knight a5 to c4. You saw the game from get out of my house, fly. You saw the game from the second round. I didn't have the whole game. I had the position. I had this knight on c4. It was from the same line, and that's sort of why I couldn't remember the game, because I had tougher games in the same line. But okay, one of the problems with this line is that white can take on e6, which looks bad. But if you have been following my YouTube channel or my Twitch, you have seen this before. Yes, this is the trap I played. You're right, and I played it again. This time it was a little bit different because Silbjörn knew and remembered that it was bad. I think from his own study, not from my videos. And he seemed to recall a correct move. But fortunately for me, he did not play the correct move. He played h4 here. Now, I'm not going to always repeat the winning line, because eventually somebody will play it. And I don't want somebody to play it because they saw my video. But maybe they will. I don't know. But castles and then h4 is the way to do it. But he played h4 immediately. The problem with that is that you hang this pawn. So I just took it. Rook f1 and queen e4 at Czechoslovakia. Now, this should get the queen out of trouble. You have this square, you can take the pawn, but you first have to deal with the king. And he played bishop e3. I think king d1 is problematic because I have this, take on c3, take on a1. If you want to not allow that, you can play king d2, but then I play knight a5. And you are toast, because I will take this, I will give a check and then take this. Bishop e2, knight c4 does not work because of, I think, this, and then just simply here. So, also, this was king d1, right? Also king d2. Black can, if he wants, he can force a draw here with knight takes d4. And I might have, I'm not sure. And then we'll give checks. Check, 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 check. I'm not sure what I would have done. But he did play bishop e3 here. And that allows me to win a piece back now with f4. He castled queenside and I took. Rook e1, trying to win the pawn. I played e2 and rook d2. So now I have 2 knights for a rook, and that should be good for me. But he does have a lot of pawns. And he should get the queen out soon, but he didn't. I played knight a5, took the pawn, and I decided to take and just cover this. And probably should play queen g7 here. But I did play rook d1. And I haven't looked at it with the computer, but I think I should play queen e7 now, and it's completely winning because of this. But I played knight c4 first, and now he can play this and prevent me from going to e7, but fortunately he did not notice my idea, and he played e6. And after queen e7, it's just game over. The queen is gonna swing over to the queen side and give mate, and that's what happened. And he resigned after queen takes a3. So now we go back to the tournament. That was round 4, so doing quite well. Now I have 4 out of 4. And Erdleo and Wigner drew, so my nearest rival has 3.5. And Bragi won, so recovering from the first round draw. And actually in the 5th round, I was to face Grandmaster Bragi Torfelsson, my good friend. Played him so many times. Even one year in 2007, I played 5 classical games against him with the black pieces. I think that's a lot. Classical games. Anywho, can we consider preparation as cheating in Blitz? No, not really, but yeah, it's not pure chess. Of course, it's pure chess. I was more thinking in the line of chess 960. You don't have this luxury of knowing lines, but okay, that's a different subject. So on to round 5. I'm leading with 4 out of 4, and let's pull up the game against Bragi. Nobody knows trouble I'm in. Da-la-la-la. Okay, so let's go back. We're getting the game. Game. Analysis, sport, and here you go. Oops. So I had the Björn was in Prague, and he actually played a Blitz tournament in Prague, a strong one, but he he scored 11 out of 11 and gained something like 40 rating points, so he's now 2450 or something. Very well done indeed. But okay, Brage was there and he had the black pieces against me in this one, and I stuck with the English opening, which is what I play more or less. The English or the London in Blitz. He surprised me with bishop e7. But of course we know each other quite well, and I know that Björn has been playing with these lines. h5, h4 is the idea. And okay, I played knight c3, h5, knight f3, hitting the pawn on e5. He protected it. Very creative play by black here. And actually, not so silly. He put the knight on g4. And you can do that after I've gone h4. So, actually, I think this is an interesting system for black. I mean, if I allow h5, h4, in some lines you can attack. But here he got sort of a nice positional grip. I decided to put the knight on d5 here, not allow him to play d5. And I was sort of, at a loss how to play the position. And like I mentioned earlier, in 3-2, it's really tough to... You don't really have time to think too much. So I even... bishop c3 I played rather quickly. Knight d2, just to see what he does. And after he castled, I went back to f3 because I want my knight on g5 if he plays f5. And now I sort of thought, okay, I'll castle also. But okay, first b5. Trying to undermine b3, rook b8. Play rook d1. Queen f7. And here, this was just a move, just to make a move. I think I might even have castled first, but it doesn't really matter. Knight e4, knight f5, knight c3. Why did I do that? Maybe I didn't. Maybe the move order was different, but we got this position. He played d5. I played knight c3 to play e4. That was my idea. This happened. e4. He took, takes, knight d6. And I actually thought I was getting a better position here. He played knight d6, c5, knight back. And this looks very good for white now. b4, cementing the pawn. He undermines it. We trade off. And, it looks like I'm getting a space advantage. I will improve the queen. I will kick this guy away. But black is doing very well here. Actually, he's doing great. And he played bishop c4, hitting my rook. Rook e1. And now, suggestion for black here. When I played rook e1, I was thinking, this might be tempting. And then I thought, okay, I know Brage, he will go for this. And he did. And what did he go for? g5? Very extravagant. I don't know, might be an idea. It might be actually an idea because I can't take, because if I take, you open the f-file very dangerously. However, I don't have to take, so g5, if I just make a waiting move, you're not threatening to take on h4, so it's not immediately punishing me for anything. But the move he made immediately punishes me. The Punisher. Someday I'm gonna call you someday 42 because 6 times 7 is 42. No, someday 777 played knight c5. That's correct. Sacking the bad knight on b7 for 2 pawns, but most importantly, a wonderful bishop on c5. And pressure on f2 that I actually can't deal with, and I have to give back the material. Rook f1. And here a funny moment. He was going to take on f1, but then he touched the bishop on c5 and was going to move it to f2, and he was like, oh, excuse me. Went back to c5, and then he knew he had to move that bishop, and he played bishop e4. Unfortunately for me, my position is so bad that I couldn't even take advantage of a semi-free move. I unpinned here. He went back. Okay, I protected the rook, but rook a8, and the rook is coming into my position. Not much I can do about it. I'll play rook to d2, but I did miss this x-ray here. Bishop takes e2, when the rook x-rays the bishop and the queen covers the rook, so I'm just losing material here. I took on a2. Yeah, I mean everything is dropping. Maybe I should take on c5 here. Maybe that was the best, I don't know, but okay. Okay, everything's losing, I think, by now, and yeah, I actually don't remember the rest, and it's utterly unimportant because I am completely losing. So I lost in the 5th round, so now I have 4 out of 5. We're gonna move to this again, and yeah, 4 out of 5. So Bragi moves to 4.5. So where did I went wrong? Yeah, it's a good question. I thought I was getting a good position when I played c5, but probably I went a bit aimless there in the middle game, where I played like bishop c3, knight d2, back to f3. I think overall his setup just made more sense. Yeah, so I would need to examine it a bit more. But okay, so I have 4 now, but Bragi has taken the lead with 4.5. And in the, well, this was a 7-round tournament, so 2 rounds to go. In the 6th round, Bragi with 4.5 will face Vignir with 4.5. And I kind of thought that Vignir would beat Bragi. I don't know why. Vignir is a very strong blitz player. And maybe that was my best chance. So maybe I was secretly hoping for it, because then I would get to play Vignir in the last round. And if I beat him, I would win the tournament. In the 6th round, I played against my friend. Well, basically everybody is my friend in this tournament. So I played against Páll Andrason, the guy who I mentioned earlier that has a win against Ali Reza in Hyperbullet, which is pretty impressive. So he can think very fast. He's a very fast player. So let's go back to... so this is the 6th round. Very important game. I have to win this game, and I have the black pieces. The black pieces. Quickly, yeah, okay. Turn it around. Turn around. And he plays d4. Now we played a tons of bully games online, and he usually goes for the stonewall, e3 f4, not f5, e3 f4. When I play a setup with g6, bishop g7, castles, d6, c5. I usually get him, but he's very resilient, tough to beat, and he's got some wins against me. So bishop g5 he played in this game. The Trompowski played e6, and he went for e3. The lines with e4 are also interesting. I play in a similar way against both lines, going for queenside castles with knight c6 and bishop d7, and usually, yeah, chasing this bishop. But he didn't go knight f3 or knight e2. He went h4. So now it's a little bit different. We have this trade-off, queen c2, and I castled. I was a little bit more worried about yeah, some kind of pawn push with b4, but he went knight e2. Didn't really find a good way forward. I played king b8. A lot of small moves, just blitz moves, trying to keep a time edge. I kept the time edge in this game, which was very important. Bishop g7, bishop c8, slightly improving the pieces. Okay, the rook now has a d-file if I play e5 or something. I wanted to play e5, but then again, I'm weakening my position. So I was kind of playing waiting moves to see what it did. And he played f3, which kind of gives me a target. Played knight d5, so now I'm hitting this. And Also, I can play f5 now, which I did. I think this improves my position. He played e4, breaking in the center. I took, bishop takes, and queen f6. I would have been quite happy if he takes this, because then my bishop would come to life on a great diagonal, and the double pawn on d5 would actually just help me to cover this square. So he didn't take, he played this, played knight c2 e7, knight e3, knight f4. I thought I was slightly better here, and I did have the time edge. Bishop h4, the queen went back. First I was slightly worried about this one, but I think I can just take it and then take on e3. He went knight to d1, and rogates it, and all of a sudden he has this pin to deal with. And I was building up a nice time edge here, which proved to be very important. Knight f5 now, hitting h4, he took it. And here I improve my worst piece, bishop d7. The idea is to play bishop e8, bishop g6, and set up this battery here. He anticipated that and put his queen on e4. And here, yeah, I did have a quick look at this with the computer. And oops, and whoa, what the hell happened there? Queen f2, knight f5. Yeah, this was actually a bad move, which gets the game back to equal. I think he can just take on e6 here. Yeah, which even covers the pawn on a2, which I was attacking, so a horrible move. Queen f7, I keep a slight edge because of the bishop pair and the pin. Fortunately for me, he immediately blundered here with bishop g5. My first idea was actually to take on h1 and cover things on the king side. I wasn't entirely sure, but then I saw, whoa, hang on a minute, this guy's hanging. So fortunately I saw that, and after takes, I just had to avoid some back rank issues. This is hanging, so I protect it. And here, fortunately I avoided this with a nasty mate, but I found bishop f6, and he flagged. I mean, I think he played 2 more moves or something, but he flagged at this stage. But it was a little bit tricky, you know. It looks tempting, you know, get the queen out of here. Queen f7. You could have made it. But okay, I played bishop f6, and he flagged, I think here or a few moves later. So now we have an interesting situation. I won my 6th round game, and as predicted, Vignir beat Brage. So now we have Vignir with 5.5. I have 5, along with Sigurbjörn, and a very surprising performance by Tinna Kristín Finnbogadóttir, a female player who has played for the Icelandic national women's team in Olympiads. But she was the 15th seed, so her being in the top 4 was, of course, a surprise. But okay, last round I play against Vignir, and Sigurbjörn gets sort of layup and plays against Tinna, which should be an easy matchup. I mean, he's rated exactly 500 points higher, 2342 against 1842. But the situation was easy for me. I just have to win. And well, let's have a look at that game. As much as I can remember of it, because I couldn't actually recall all of it, unfortunately. But what? I'm gonna keep it like this, then you can't really see the position. And then okay. So I had the black pieces, and well, we played so many games just like Brage, and I've gotten a little bit fed up with playing the check Peroni against him. he plays a good line against it, and I usually don't get positions that I like against him. And also I thought he was playing quite well against the Benoni when we played blitz games in Slovakia and prior to Slovakia. So I went for, and I couldn't spend much time, so very quickly I decided to go for b6, which is a line I played very rarely, but I also knew that he didn't know too much about it. Okay, knight c3, logical. I played bishop b7, and he played d5. And the idea here is just to get a big center. And I went for, I think e6 is the way people usually play here. But I went e5. I don't know, at least we got seemingly an interesting game. He played a3. I didn't want to allow b4, so I played a5, e4, knight a6, and he's really fast, and I just decided to play knight c5 really quickly just to keep up here. Seeing that if he takes on e5, I had queen e7, and he did take on e5, which surprised me, and he looked surprised when I played queen e7, but okay, he must have seen that move. But okay, at least, okay, material is equal, and we have, I don't know what's going on in this position, but I wasn't too worried. Played bishop d6, bishop e3, decided to cement this square right here. Both castled, he played rook e1, h6, and the moves around here are a little bit fuzzy. He eventually put the knight on d4, I played bishop a6 to prevent knight b5. Something like this, bishop f3, queen e5, threatening on h2, so he played g3. Queen f6, king g2, I played bishop e5, I'm threatening to take, and then take on e1, so he played rook e2. And here I started probing like queen g6, and I figured, okay, well, I mean, what is this? And I went back. So this was a very tense game, I'm not sure what's going on. And the next, well, tons of moves, I don't really remember. Some stage I took on d4. Probably he played f4, so let's see. Bishop d4. I entered the moves like I took here, but I didn't, maybe I didn't take. Maybe he played f4, because he did play f4. So let's say I played a move like this. He played something like this, here. This makes sense. I think he played this maybe, yeah. To protect this. No. Probably rook e1 or something. Anyway, at some stage I played this. Bishop went to e3. But eventually we got to a position like, let's see, I did have some garbage way to get to the position. Yeah, okay, we had the position like this. King f2. Aha, okay, we had this position. So this was the critical point. I don't remember how we got here. Some moves in between are just totally lost on me, but he did play bishop h5 here, when he could have played bishop c5, winning. Instead he played bishop to h5, which looks tempting because, well, you're hitting this. But I did have knight e4 check, and the main problem with that is that I'm hitting c3 and hitting the queen, so you don't have time to take this. I will take on d1 and then on e3. So it took, and now I played queen e4, and now if you take on e8, I take on e3 with check, and then take this, I'm up a piece. And actually, he played bishop d4 here. I gave him a check, and he, yeah, played a few more moves, and then resigned in disgust. Well, realizing that there was a big price jump. There was a huge, actually, cash price for the first, and then a huge jump down to second and third. So he went down to third with this loss, and I was actually joint leader now with Sigurbjörn. So let's have a look at that. And yeah, I won the game, and Sigurbjörn won against Tina Christine. We can actually have a look at the final ranking now, where I actually won on tie breaks, but it was decided before the tournament that if two people would tie, they would play a match. And we did play a match, and I have that on video, and I'm gonna try to play through it. We'll see how it goes. Maybe my computer will not handle it, but let's try it out. So first I'm going to swing over here and get a board. Thank you someday. But we had to play for the first prize. Analysis board. So the first game I had the black pieces, and we again played, and this is against Sigurbjörn, who I played in the 4th round. Touchdown! So I'm going to play up to the position that we had on the video, because this time around I did not play queen d7, I played this line. I played queen a5, he plays bishop d2, queen a4, he plays queen here, and then queen back. I played b6, he took, I played bishop here, he took, and I'm supposed to take with the queen, but I took with the knight. So I think this is the position that we are going to look at. So let's see how this works, and I hope it works. So I'm going to turn on the video now and try to talk over it. Yeah, this is the bluesy queen land, the black queen blues. Okay, so let's fire up the video and hope everything works. So this is the position. It's white to move. I think he now takes on b6, if I'm not mistaken. So I should have taken with a queen. So I was trying to follow a game that he had played against Miodrag Perunovic, the butcher, on chess.com. But I messed it up a little bit. Well, this one was unrated, so I mean, this is in a bar, coffee shop / bar, so the atmosphere is quite relaxed, and yeah, the tiebreak games weren't rated. The other ones were rated, so yeah, let's rook b8. What did I play? Yeah, rook c6 and bishop e3. And here I am struggling a little bit. He has pressure on my b6 pawn, and things have gone a little bit wrong. Down a pawn. I've sort of lost control here. By the way, big shout out to a Noblestone or Aðalsteinn Thorensen, who recorded the games. Knight d4, yeah, hitting my rook. Play rook c4. I know white has a very strong position here. I'm struggling with my coordination. What did he play here? I didn't see the move. What did he play? Rook c4. Oh, it's his move. He played rook b5. Okay. You like my knight on t8? It might surprise you later in the game. Maybe. We'll see. No spoilers. Spoiler alert. No, he hesitated with rook b5 because I have rook d4 here, And I was thinking about rook d4, but if rook d4, queen e2, protecting this guy, and my queen is still hanging. I can play queen takes c3 there. He takes on d4, I take. But I thought my back rank would be an issue. He will play something like rook back, my knight is hanging. I didn't like it, so in the end I decided not to take on d4, even though it looks tempting. I haven't looked at it with the computer, but I think I'm lost here anyway. But being lost doesn't mean you lose. We'll see. No spoilers, no spoiler alerts. I think I took on c3 here, if I recall correctly. Well, I should, because this was yesterday. So queen takes c3. But I need, well, quite a few tempos to get my king in order and coordinate my pieces, and I simply don't have that time. I think he took on b6 here. These games actually did not enter into the database, so I'm just moving along here with the video. He took on b6, I played rook a4, covering my knight. Can't move the knight because rook b8, and I'm in trouble. I think he might, maybe he misses some killer blow here. Looks like black is really struggling. He played queen b1. I played g5. And yeah, knight b5. The knight is going to d6, and that's simply just too much. Simply too much. Just too much. Too much. Queen back to a5. Knight d6. Yeah, just too strong. Too strong right there, guys. What did I play? I played 97. But I'm just lost here. Yeah. Look out for the knight though, someday. I'm telling you, there might be some route here and some weaknesses. Queen getting back here, d4. Spoiler alert. Maybe. Is he getting into time trouble? There's time trouble, guys. There's always a chance. There's always a chance. Hesitation. He's not finding the direct win. Rook e7. Yeah, the rook stands quite well here. I can't move my knight because of this. So I'm struggling. I'm struggling here, guys. Play queen back to d8. Just trying to find the move. Yeah, protecting the knight so I can move the king to g7, I think was my idea here. Here he played, queen b5, hitting my rook. I decided to quickly just take the pawn, rook d7, queen to a8, and h4, yeah. Here maybe I should have gone for like rook takes and rook g8 maybe, or rook g8. Trying to open the g file and then push something here. He did play a move here. I actually missed the move. He played this, and I actually flagged before I could play this move. So, first blood to my opponent, guys. I lost the first game, so this being a match, I had to win the second game. Time trouble now for black. I must find move. Yes. Okay, so let's go back here and flip it around and see. Game 2 actually. The video didn't start right at the. It was a tough position to defend, and I didn't manage. The start of the second game also wasn't fully in time. So he played h6. This is the idea of this line is to get bishop b4 when I have my knight on c3. That's what happened. Played here. He took it. I think he castled, and I played e3. Let's see the position and I'll catch up. So we're going to go to game 2 now. I have the white pieces. And he has indeed castled. Played e3, played d6, and played what, knight d7? Played f4. Nobody knows. Trouble me. And he played f5. Oh, and I castled. Okay, so it's like this, and he plays e4. The move order is not necessarily correct, but now we are on the right track. a3, bishop c5. I think I played d3 now. Indeed, putting pressure here. Probably knight f6, yeah. I think I played b4 now, yeah. And my idea was to play knight c3 and get this bishop on b6 and have a strong bishop on b2. So first I have to get the bishop because of the hanging pawn. So knight c3, play queen e7, and I didn't want to go knight a4 immediately because once I take on e4 he takes with a knight and then takes with a piece on e4. So I kind of want a pawn on e4. So first I took on e4 and he took with a pawn. If he takes with the knight now, I take queen c2. It's a different game, but he took with a pawn, and now I think I get a very strong position. I'm going to take this bishop, but he does get a pawn, queen f7. I'm not forced to sacrifice the pawn, but that's what I did. He played queen f7 here, took on b6. Pawn takes, and I just decided to ditch the pawn. Play fast. And yeah, once he takes here with a knight, there's this little thing on e3 hanging. So I don't have time to take on e4. But okay, I get a very strong diagonal now. I think I have more than full compensation. Play rook c1. Note also that, you know, the base here is protected by the bishop. Can't do anything here. Bishop f5. What did I play here, guys? Oops, I don't see it. h3, yeah, okay. Intending this, probably h5, yeah. Rook f2, intending to double, rook a d8. Rook c2 and c5. Back to d1, eyeing this, and also preparing to double on d5. I like this move. Nobody knows. King g6, hitting this pawn, so I'll play king h2. I was playing this game quite fast, I think. Rook d2, hitting this guy. I think he played knight h7 here. Protect the pawn, right? Yeah, knight h7. Queen e2. Yeah, I have a nice idea. He went knight f8. And now knight b5, taking this pawn, a weakness here, which he can't really defend here because I will double the rooks, and he has problems with this pawn. I think he played h4 here, and I actually expected him after g4 to sacrifice on g4, try to get counterplay, because once I win the pawn I am just much better. So surely I can remember, yeah, h4. I played g4, of course. And the bishop went back to d7, hitting my queen. I think I took the pawn here. I mean, why not? We're also hitting this. There you see the people watching the finale. I mean, some people already went away. I took on b6, yeah, bishop c6. Protecting this, I just took on c5. So now I'm actually, all of a sudden, it is me with a pawn in hand. I think he played d5 here. No, knight d7. And I will be up a pawn. Queen b3 check. He played d5. I think I played rook d4 with some ideas of utilizing the pin. Not yet, but soon. I think that's what happened. Rook d4, yeah. And he played king h8. Queen c3, getting on the long diagonal. Queen back to f7. Yeah, but I don't have to. I could sack the exchange, but now I just want this pawn. And my position just flows beautifully here, g5. Can't protect the pawn. I'm up 2 pawns and I have full control of the position. And I think he said something here like, which means what kind of, savagery is this? And now just, push the pawns somehow. I think I played queen h5 here. Threatening g6. Well, maybe not a big threat, I don't know. Queen e6, h4. I think I played h4. No, rook d1. Maybe threatening to take and then take on d8. So he played rook a8. And then I played h4. I want this. And yeah, I think he resigned there rather than flag. But overall, yeah, really like this game. It was a good game. But now we go to the Armageddon game. It was 1-1, so we had to play an Armageddon. And I drew the black pieces. So I had 4 minutes against Sigurbert's 5 minutes, but he had the white pieces. Yeah, much better than the first. The first was pretty bad. So I had to find something to play in the French. And let's swing it around. e4, e6, d4, oops, mouse slip. And I decided to go for b6 in, whoops, b6 in this one. a3, takes. And somehow I transposed to the other line. But remember, he knows my trick, so I can't play that same line. h3. So I decided to switch around, play queen f7. So I'm not playing for the trap that we played in the first game. He already knows how to punish it. We even talked about it, in between some of the rounds. So after h4, I played what? Knight b8, h5, knight c6, a4, knight a5. So sort of the standard ideas here for black. Get the knight on c4. Black is playing on the light squares. White is playing more or less on the black squares. So an interesting strategical fight. Yeah, but I was down on the clock, so I had to play fast here. Take on e6 is okay, but not here. In the game we played earlier, he can take on e6. So he's using his time edge here, trying to find some ways to put pressure on me. Plays bishop to a3. Think I kept the knight c6. That's what I will play now. Yep. I don't want to trade. Wanted to trade the bishop for a knight. play queen h4. He doesn't want me to castle queenside, but first I play knight c4. Okay, rook h3. And I just castle by hand, king d7. Rook g3. And I swing the rook all the way over to g8. And then my king will be fine here. But he's putting some pressure on me on the king side. Now maneuvering the knight h3, king c8. Trying to catch up on the clock because it was 5 against 4 and no increment. Remember that, no increment. And this was actually a tense game. h6, strong stuff, trying to open things up on the king side. g6, then I have a weak square, but usually black gets away with it, but I decided to take, in this case, I took on h6, I think I took with the queen. Do it, take with the queen. And rook g6, because this is hit, so rook g6. Yeah, exactly. Queen back to h4. I think I just played king b7 here. I wasn't worried about knight takes h7. Quick look at some of the guys remaining. I mean, some of the players had already left. Yeah, queen g8 makes sense. Yeah, a lot of sense actually. Maybe that's what I should have played. I was trying to trick him into taking, but he played bishop c1. I played queen d7 now. Protecting this. Now he reroutes the knight again. I play rook here. And I think it's better now. He took on g6. And I took with a pawn. And now he has a nice blockade. I think he played bishop g5, strong move. I think white is better here. But black's position is very resilient. We do have these really nice light squares, a blockade. And it's sort of more difficult for white to do something at times in these positions. Here I decide to reroute the knight to f7. But he can take on d8. That's why I hesitated, because he can take on d8 and win the g6 pawn. So that's why I hesitated a bit, but I thought if he does that, I have enough counterplay. At least that's what I was hoping. And he did take on d8. So I'll take with the rook, otherwise e6 hangs, and then he takes on g6. Rook back to g8. And the knight comes back to f4. And now a tricky move by me, queen g7. And the thing is, I am threatening rook h8. And rook h8 threatens rook h1. I'm getting a bit tired, starting to slur my words in a way. So queen g7, yeah. See, he wanted to play g3, but that loses almost immediately. Queen f6, queen g4. So I'm down a pawn, but I think I have a time edge by now. Yeah, too bad we don't have the clock on the correct side, but I have a time edge now. And it's not so easy for white to make a move here. He ends up playing queen f6. Maybe. Well, the king on d7 after queen f6. Then this hangs with check. He did play queen f6. And I played queen g4. Small hesitation in the station. And then queen to g4 is what I played. Boom. Attacking this. And the idea was, if he takes... But what I was going to do, take this. But okay, he played g3 and now I have queen f3. So maybe we'll have a look at what happens if he actually takes on e6 there. I thought I had something. But here I have rook h8. Yeah, now I'm winning. I have this. I just see nothing to defend against it. Once again, this MVP knight covers this. And yeah, this game is over now. He doesn't have anything. He ended up taking on d5 with the queen, but that loses the rook. Queen takes check, I took. Give him a check, king e2, I took. And he did what? Well, it doesn't really matter. My knight is coming here to block the pawn. Oh, Filip Bosowski is in Slovakia. Yeah, I was in Bratislava recently for the European Youth Chess Championship. I was there as a coach for the Icelandic kids. And Bratislava, yeah, was quite nice. I should have played this. But I played king c8, knight f6. And here he was actually about to flag, so I didn't really have to worry. Hello. And yeah, here he resigns, and I won the tournament. So yeah, pretty nice result. I was quite happy with this. Strong tournament, and I did gain a little bit of rating. 12 points? No, 17. Anyway, I'm 24-27 now. That's pretty good. So I'm very happy with that. 24-27 FIDE Blitz. Super happy. I'm also super tired. I'm almost falling asleep. It's very late here. Just a quick look if he had taken on e6 earlier. Did I have something? I thought I had something. But let's have a look. The game against Magnus, where I won. The April Fool's game. So what happens if he takes this? Because he's taking this and this. So maybe I don't have time for queen takes f4. Was this just a blunder by me? Can he just take on e6 here? Probably he can. Yes he can, yes he can. They killed Kenny, man. He can just take this. Well, where does the king go? Where does the king go? I don't know. Yeah, this just loses. Wow, I don't see anything. I'm so tired. I'm going to full screen this and turn on the computer. Why is this doubled? I don't get it. I don't get it. Okay, let's get the evaluation. Wait, what? Oh yeah, this is after g3. Then I'm winning. But if he doesn't play g3 and takes this, I do have this one. Okay. I honestly can't remember if this is what I wanted to play. And if he takes this, I have a check. Okay. So maybe he must give the perpetual. Does he have it though? Queen f7. It's claiming a perpetual, but why? For me. Rook takes h3. And then he has to give the perp. He's the perp. Just a goddamn perp, man. Queen f8. Let's say I go here. Queen f7. Yeah, I can never go to a6 because takes. So okay, yeah, perpetual. I was at least I wasn't losing. That would have been a bit of a bummer. But yeah, a good tournament win. It's always nice to win a tournament. Hey, you also got like got a medal. It's always nice. It says Stofan 2019. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, I am going to sleep. It's very late. Thanks for those who followed. Someday has been here. Kara has been here for a long time. And Virjatovic and others. Thanks, guys. Maybe we'll call a note. We can head on over to Touchdown by Kara. Let's just rate Bigfoot, guys. Góða nótt, he taught you some Icelandic. Okay, thanks everybody. I will see you later. Bye bye.